Good afternoon. It is 1:15 on June 30th. We are knocking down second cutting alfalfa. Been at it a while. We got started about 9 o'clock this morning. So it's, I don't know. I was pretty happy with the yield. Of course, up here where I'm at now, I broke down when I was first cutting, and it was a week before I got back to this part, so it's a little lighter. But it's starting to bloom. There's some mare's tail in it. There's a lot of grass coming, a lot of foxtail. I got an order in with the local spraying company. They are going to spray this with, it's a grass killer. We used to use it a lot in corn, or in beans, soybeans, to kill volunteer corn that the Roundup wouldn't kill. But it also works well in alfalfa, non-Roundup ready alfalfa, for killing grass weeds, which is going to sound like a dumb waste of money here in a few minutes when I tell you my plans. Sorry, I'm kind of turning around, going from point rows back to some longer rows here. If you can see behind me, I cut around some ditches, especially over there, that hill and south of it. It's really rough. There you can watch me cutting while I talk. So, it's pretty light here, but you get down the hill just, 5 or 6 rounds, and the hay gets substantially heavier. It was substantially heavier than first cutting. This is actually about what first cutting was up here. Got a leak in a line back there, and the head likes to walk down the hill. I also got a leak on my pump line, which I'm hoping I can get by. I'll be where I can get parts tomorrow if I can get this cut I've got. I'm gonna say there's 10 acres over there. There's about 8 acres up here. We'll just call it 20 acres left. So 2 hours, a little more, I should be done, which will work good. Get me to pick the little one up from daycare, and we'll call her a day then. But anyway, back to my story. The yield, I should be quite a bit better on. Last cutting, I'm going to use tons instead of bales, since my bales were 2,200 pounds. We got to do a little adjustment on the new baler. That's, I don't know. I'd like to make them 800 pounds lighter than that, and it'd still be quite heavy for me. So my goal would be this cutting, since it is heavier. And see here, this isn't terrible. This is a lot heavier than it was first cutting here. Got to move. My goal would be 75 tons. There are 67 acres in this field. 75 ton would be beautiful, because I got a neighbors. They approached me this spring about raising more hay for them, and they were going to raise more grain crops, which is why we planted quite a few acres of sorghum Sudan, and why trying some forage soybeans and cane. We talked about that a little bit when I was wrapping hay in one of my last videos. We'll have to do an update. I was over there the other day. They're trying to poke through. But anyway, back to the alfalfa. And this ground is on share rent, 2/3 and 1/3. So 50 tons to them and 25 ton to me. Actually, the 25 ton I would probably take to another hay buyer, which is actually my uncle. And that would get him about how much alfalfa hay he wants. He's got a bunch of carryover hay from last year. So if we get him that many bales, of new hay, and then we'll have to get him some grass hay later on. But he said thought he'd be happy with that. So then I'd be down to basically my needs and another customer for the last, hopefully, 2 cuttings if we can get some rain. But there's a lot of foxtail coming in this, and right in here it's not so bad. Some spots it's really bad. Sorry, there's a ditch there I'm trying to cut around. You're gonna give me grief about doing this, but more than likely. The plan is when I get the bales off, I want them to spray this field, kill the foxtail, and it's going to get rough here for a couple of rounds. So they're going to spray it, kill the foxtail. We'll get 3rd cutting put up, which will give me higher quality hay of pure alfalfa. You know, it might have a few broadleaf weeds, but it'd be definitely good cow hay. So we'll get that put up. And then all these ditches, like that one and over there, plus the ones I'm going across, which there's plenty of those, I'm going to come in here, I'm thinking probably with a moldboard plow, which is the only reason I have one is for ditches and terraces. And we are going to try and get them ditches filled in and leveled out. Now the biggest problem with that is, sorry if you get dizzy, this alfalfa is, this is only the 2nd year I've harvested alfalfa on this field, so it's a young crop. But what I'm going to do, especially, I don't know if you can see that light green, that's foxtail coming. And that's just the spot. It's a lot worse in other parts of the field. And it's coming in where the alfalfa's got a touch thin. Well, in these spots where it washes, it's not very good soil and it's steep hillsides. And the alfalfa is naturally thinner. So my plan is to get all the ditches worked up so they're smooth again. So I don't have to cut 8 patches of hay in this field. I can cut 1, you know, or 2. But it's a lot nicer to harvest, a lot more efficient that way, is the plan. And then I have to cut around a ditch here so the video quality goes down. That is why, which I'm not a professional photographer, and the video quality isn't that great to start with. So, like there's a big ditch in that terrace. But anyway, the hay is young and fairly young, and it's kind of thin. So the plan is, when I get the ditches fixed, we'll drill the whole field. We're going to add orchard grass to it. I've never done it. There's people around have done it further west than me, so I was a little concerned about moisture, but I think we can probably make it work. I also know it's probably not going to give me a lot of boost in 2nd and 3rd cutting hay. I feel like 1st cutting the orchard grass will give me a huge tonnage boost, and also 4th cutting in the fall, the last one in September. So that's what I shoot for. It's 4 cuttings a year. We start around Memorial Day, and then go from there about every 30 days. So, you know, it's June 1st, July 1st, August 1st, September 1st, ballpark. After that, I usually let it grow. I have cut hay in October before. I don't like to do it. It seems like it always costs me hay the next year. Like the cutting in October, I can get that cutting plus I get it back in the next year's crop. So, but the other goal is too, if I leave it, the other half of this quarter is grain sorghum, which I believe is beautiful. There's some thin spots, but I mean, what a crop. That stuff is waist high. It's only been planted a month. If it yields like it looks now, sky's the limit. I mean, 160, 70 bushel milo. just unreal. It looks better than most of my corn does. But, alright, back to the alfalfa. So that's the plan, and then when I get to places where the ditches where I fixed, I want to double drill it because there won't be any alfalfa. And then my plan is this hay I'm going to keep for myself. I might sell some of it. We'll see what the market asks for and how that goes. But I'm also going to see, there's another dang ditch, and them things are killer. They're hard on my machines. They're a pain to work around. They're just, I gotta get this field fixed. I did not make a good management decision when I planted this field to alfalfa. So anyway, the plan would be to keep this in for my hay, especially with the grass mix, and feed it to my beef cows. And then I'm going to plant next spring another 70-acre field to what I'm planning on. I'm not 100% sure. I've been kicking around a few ideas, but what my latest thoughts are plant peas and oats about the middle of March, and then go in maybe the 10th of April or so and seed alfalfa into it. And then that field will be my good alfalfa for selling alfalfa hay off of. Plus I'll need some straight alfalfa hay here and there for this and that, so but there'll always be a broken bale or partial bales or rained on hay, stuff like that I can use for me most of the time. So that's the plan with this alfalfa field and that field, which is currently in soybeans. I prefer to plant alfalfa in August and wheat stubble. That's what this field was. So, but we'll see. I've seen some neighbors have good luck growing alfalfa in the spring in bean stubble. Most of them I've seen do that though don't use a companion crop to go with them. My goal is I can put the peas and oats in, take them off for hay after I do first cutting on this field about the middle of June, and then hopefully get a good cutting of alfalfa in August. The new alfalfa like that, you know, you never know what you're going to get. Sometimes you get a cutting, sometimes you won't. Depends on the growing season, on the moisture, all the good jazz in between. But that is what I'm thinking I'm going to try to do. I know today's been an up day on the grain markets, finally. We haven't had one of them in a year, you know, like what we've had today. But I'm struggling with raising grain crops and breaking even. You know, as much money dollars as you're handling there, I'm going to try to raise forage crops. I mean, some for sale. My goal with my hay is I want to sell enough hay that my cattle feed is free. And that's pretty doable. You know, if I figure, like on this field, this is a good example. I got to give a third of the hay up to rent to the landlord, and it takes about a third of the hay for equipment, repairs, fuel, payments, that kind of stuff. So, in turn, I have a third of the hay left that hasn't cost me anything to have. So, I know there's value there. Excuse me. It's like you're going to sell it. So, I mean, it's free, but there's value there. So, I have no investment in it. Maybe that's the way I should say it. But that's my goal, is to have no investment in the feed I put through my animals on the hay side. The grain side, I mean, I feed some corn, a couple thousand bushel, but you know, the percentage of what I feed versus what I sell is so small that it doesn't really even factor in. I mean, it does, don't get me wrong. Again, there's value there. But that's my goal. I'm getting there. Same thing with, it's not just with my alfalfa, the grass hay, the tough grass, Sudan grass. And the next thing is too, you know, I put up that feed max, and I'm going to feed 100% of that. And there's the forage soybeans and cane I plan on wet wrapping that and feeding 100%, provided we get some more rain and get it growing. So in turn, it just means I sell more alfalfa or grass hay, and it's going to depend on what people want. It depends on what I have. Like this year, sorry, I've got a ditch here. I have over 100 bales of grass hay left from last year, which feed my cows for a month, you know. So my goal is to have 3 months of hay on hand going into winter for the cows, and that doesn't count any hay for weaned calves, horses, goats, that kind of stuff, which, you know, doesn't seem like a lot, but it all adds up, you know. I figured up one time, I was always running short, and it seemed like I had enough hay, and I had to go find 40 or 50 bales in the spring to get my cows through. Well, I figured it up. 40 or 50 bales is what the goats and the horses were eating. So it's not nothing. You got to pay attention to it. And part of it is, you know, like the goats, we feed them all year round. They don't go out on pasture. They're in the pens. They get alfalfa hay, and right now they're getting some grain. Just kind of depends on what we're giving them for hay quality and that kind of stuff, what they get. They're getting year-old hay, and it's not very... I hate keeping hay over. I'm gonna need it this year, I think. But the problem is, it's just it doesn't keep. It's not good quality hay usually. It's tough. But so no, just a little update. I'm getting this pretty long-winded here. Just going back and forth cutting hay. I want to get done. I really want to be done by 4, but it looks like it's probably going to be 4:30, which is okay. I'll still have time to go get my daughter from daycare and get home and make some. I think we're going to grill hamburgers tonight. So getting kind of geared up this week. Yesterday, I went on a road trip hauling seed for work, like I did Thursday, Friday. I'm going tomorrow. We might do a video tomorrow on just going down the road with work. See some different country. We're headed out to northwest Kansas, the Hoxie, Colby area. Going to deliver some seed, see a couple dealers, and check on wheat harvest. There's guys cutting wheat here. There's not a lot of wheat here, but what is here, they are working on cutting. So, but you get out there, there's quite a bit. I'm kind of interested to see how they're getting along and how the yields are and that kind of stuff. So, just a little quick update. We'll see how things go. I need to do a crop tour. I think we'll have some corn that's tasseling here by the 4th, which is only 4 days away. So we'll see. Also, I saw some neighbors struggling a little bit, having a hard time. They still don't have their first cutting alfalfa put up. I might, I'd just go do it, but I don't feel like that's right. I might, I'll go talk to them and see if they mind if I help them out, or if they insist on paying me. The way the hay's going, I'd trade for some hay. My tonnage is kind of light right now. We'll see how this comes out though. Fingers crossed on that one. So, but there should be quite a bit more hay this cutting than there was last. It was right in here. It's not the heaviest, but it's as heavy as it was first cut. So we've got some rain, so things are doing pretty good. I mean, that Vermont green sorghum up there on the hill, isn't that just beautiful, dark green stuff? I gotta quit bragging on that Milo because I'm thinking about harvesting it and I'm getting itchy. So, alright, just a quick update. Maybe we'll get you some raking videos this time. I don't think I've gotten you one of those yet. So, that'll probably be tomorrow night, Thursday morning. See how things go. Maybe both. Alright, well, thanks for watching.